chunk, making rhymes so white. Ain't no chance I'm getting lucky tonight. My wallet is thin, but my jokes are fat. I'ma delete your comment if you got a problem with that. Knock it, don't cut it, don't chop it, don't slice it. Don't put it in a box, don't hit it, don't dice it, don't smack it, don't mash it, don't tease it, that's right. You come to Planet Whelp and everything is alright. I woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I didn't stay in school. The number one that never was that cool. I got no friends other than my fat junk. I try to be a thinker, but all I really do is thunk. Knock it, don't cut it, don't chop it, don't slice it. Don't put it in a box, don't hit it, don't dice it, don't smack it, don't mash it, don't tease it, that's right. You come to Planet Whelp and everything is alright. Yeah, that's right. Don't knock it, yeah.
I love you, Kiwi. How are you here so fast? Did you get a notification? Okay, so we're going to start with Dr. Steve in 30 minutes. There's some things I have to get out of my system. There's noises that I can play. And I don't want to do this when the respectable, amazing Dr. Steve is here because it would just be embarrassing. Look, okay, guys, I have noises. I'm sorry, I'm like a 5-year-old right now. Okay, they're different ones though. So I have to get this out of my system before Dr. Steve gets here because I just can't be embarrassing when he's here, right?
Me so horny, me so horny, me so horny, me so horny, me so.
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said.
Why don't you make like a tree and get out of here? Why don't you make like a tree and get out of here? Why don't you make like a tree and get out?
Me so horny.
Whoa, Black Betty, bam a lamb. Whoa, Black Betty, bam a lamb. Hey, let's go. You can do it all by yourself.
Okay, I have all these buttons, guys. Not good. Okay, let me see the chat. It's hi, Badizi. Okay, so yeah, very inappropriate. Honda agrees with you. Honda, it was just a thing. Don't worry. So basically, here's what's happening. Thank you to my Canadian friends. They're letting me use their StreamYard. Look, they even made a little thing on the top right. But I have these noises. All right, say something, guys. Hi, how are you, Badizi? Hi, Kiwi. Give me something where I can react with the sound, please. Let's get this out of my system in the next 10 minutes. Dr. Steve will be with us in shortly. Hold on, let me see. He wrote, I'll try to be on time, I think. I'm not sure. It's been a day. Anyone else had a day? What? I'm telling you, Mercury in retrograde is a thing. I just archived a mess. I don't even know where the archives are. Phone. Asshole. Yeah, give me something to respond. Danielle. Okay, give me something. Okay, Danielle, I was talking to her before. And anyway, it's been a day. But I was like, come on, say hi. And then Danielle comes on and makes you cry. Okay, so this is for Danielle. I love you. You like that one?
The world was on fire, no one could save me but you. Strange what desire will make foolish people do.
Bitches, I cry. That happened.
I
So,
never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. I never dreamed that I'd look somebody like you.
that's for Danielle.
No, I don't wanna fall in love.
But I did. I fell in love with Danielle. It happened. Okay. So, let's get this out of my system.
It's been a while, 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 it's been a while.
Hold on. Let me get a hold of
It's been a
this.
while, it's been a while, it's been a while.
Me so horny. Me so horny. Me so horny. Me so
Okay, it's so stupid. But I have buttons that have sounds. I've never had that. Okay, let me get back to where I can see the chat. I'm like in this like area. You guys know how I do with areas. What's up, Josh Pittman? Danielle. I love you, Danielle. So let me vape before Dr. Steve gets here, right? Yes, I guess, Josh, it's called a soundboard. I've just never had anything like this. Like when I hear people do noises, I'm like, I feel like it's an external thing that they're using. I don't know. Nothing is set up. Nothing is sorted, but it will be in 10 minutes. I'll sort it. So, okay, Josh, say something that would elicit one of my many sounds that I can create. Yay! Doom, Team Doom. Today was a day. And then, of course, I talked to Danielle, and it's like, Danielle is just the best. Okay, can somebody please give me a reason to play one of these ridiculous songs? Thank you in advance.
Whoa, Black Betty, bam a lamb. Whoa, Black Betty, bam a lamb. Black Betty had a
Makes me
child,
feel like
bam
riding a
lamb,
horse.
damn thing gone wild, bam a lamb. Whoa.
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she.
It's just fun, okay? And if you know me at all, okay, what, Josh? What did you say? I don't know what you heard about me. Okay, I have a sound for that. Bet you anything I do. I don't know what. Okay, so Josh Pittman, which we know is Sonar Beep Beep. Josh Pittman said, I don't know what you heard about me. This is what I heard about you. Where is it? Josh, this is what I heard about you. Wait, where is it when this is what I heard about Josh Pittman?
Me so horny. Me so horny. Me so horny. Me so horny.
Okay. Josh, come on, let's keep it clean over here. I'm here early to play with noises and also to be here early. We're not expecting Dr. Steve until 30 minutes from now. I mean, excuse me, like 6:30 minus 6:11 is what? The fastest person to come up with the math will be the one that gets the next sound. Hi. Yeah, today's been a day. And if you've had a day, I am very empathetic for you. I'm always empathetic, but what did you say, Josh? Hi, Chris Mack. Chris Mack. Okay, Chris Mack, do you want to? Okay, this is for Chris Mack. You better be nice, Chris Mack. I'll know that I love Chris Mack, but he's been this.
The world was on fire.
No. Hold on. Chris Mack has been like this.
Strange what desire will make foolish people do.
Chris Mack has been more like. No, this is what Chris Mack has been.
I was just a skinny lad, never knew no good from bad, but I knew love before I left my nursery. Left alone with big fat
No.
fatty, she was such a
Chris
naughty
Mack, I
lady.
felt like
Big
he
woman,
betrayed me.
you made a
This
bad
has
boy
been Chris
out of
Mack.
me.
No, this has been Chris
Yeah.
Mack.
I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready. Yeah.
Anyway, can you get MKE on the panel with Dr. Steve too? No, not tonight. Maybe next time. I love you, Chris Mack, in a Down syndrome sort of way. Just don't be weird with me anymore. I'm like, don't be weird. Don't make it weird. If you guys have questions for Dr. Steve, I want to read you his bio. So then you can put questions up. Let's see. I know that song Wicked is dope. Okay. Dr. Steve, Dr. Steve, Dr. Steve, Dr. Steve, Dr. Steve. I don't know anything about him. Here's what he and I both know about each other. We exist. I'm a person, he's a person. So that okay. Dr. Steve is a board certified allopathic physician and is the host of Weird Medicine. With Dr. Steve and his co-host Dr. Scott, 20 plus years of Weird Medicine was on SiriusXM. Didn't know that. I mean, I skimmed through this earlier. The first and only uncensored medical show in broadcast history. That is a thing. So we got to talk about that. Let me just write these notes down. Meanwhile, but easy, come on, give me a reason to make a noise. I need that because I don't want to be doing this when Dr. Steve is here because I cannot help myself. Wait, hold on. There's so many too, guys. Hold on. No, 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 no. When Nathan showed these to me, I was like, you shouldn't have done that.
Fat chunk making rhyme so white. Ain't no chance I'm getting lucky tonight. My wallet is thin, but my jokes are fat. I'ma delete your comment if you got a problem with that. Knock it, don't cut it, don't chop it, don't slice it. Don't put it in a box, don't hit it, don't.
I have all these index cards. You guys, I have all these index cards that, well, hold on. Let's do a new, let's set the record straight. I think I've done this before, but you know, never bears repeating. Doom is a very beautiful woman. And besides her bacon and her recipes, I love Doom. Can you guys see that? Doom. Okay. Make a little heart. We love Doom. But what I use index cards for is like when I'm writing, like weird. Stop texting me when I'm working. I'm being a bitch. I'm being sassy as fudge right now. So I use the index cards for a lot of things, like my to-do lists, like to hate and love the lovely Lady Doom. But lately I use them for the music reaction channel that I want to plug right now. Please go and subscribe to Whelp. Oh, thank you. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't thank you for that, but I don't see that as a win. I will reiterate. I should not have been in that conversation. I had no business there. But mostly for Whelp. What's up, Frank? Mostly for Whelp, where you guys should all go be subscribed. Did I do that well? Okay. I like write because we do reactions. We do reactions to songs. We do reactions to videos, documentaries, anything you want us to react to, we will be there to react. So a lot of my excuse me. A lot of my index cards are just like my notes on songs. Thank you for bringing home. Oh, This is funny. Do you guys know who Jill Scott is? Jill Scott was somebody that we covered recently. She's an amazing artist. And one of her things that she said in one of her songs, Sonar Beep Beep will know about this. She said, "Thank you for bringing home that check every week. It gets me wet every time." That one I am not throwing away. And gentlemen, thank you. That's not a pen, that's lip liner. Don't use lip liner as a pen. It doesn't work. So if you guys have questions now, I can write them down. Pee on you? Are you talking about pee on you, Frank? Pee on you is a snake and talks like a child, like another name I'm not going to say. That's not her real name, by the way. One of the best laughs I've had in a while, you mocking someone's voice. Guys, I am not proud of myself when I act like that. I love that you guys get a kick out of it, but it doesn't. Doom, if she is still here, is a witness. Like, so the time that Frank is talking about, I went on Clowntown, I believe, and I forgot how it started, but yeah, I know how it started. Context is not super important here. I woke up the next day, like I was rude. I wasn't polite, and I said something not like that I wasn't proud of saying. And everyone's like, "That's so funny," blah blah blah. I'm like, "No, it wasn't." Plot twist. Plot twist. I love them, right? That wasn't the worst thing I said apparently that night. Within 3 or 4 hours of that situation, something else happened that was ridiculous. Do you guys have questions about for Dr. Steve? First of all, I think I know what allopathic is. It's let's figure that out real quick. Allopathic is, I feel like it's in between like Eastern and Western medicine. Allopathic. But if you have questions for Dr. Steve, tell me now and I write them on my plethora. I have a plethora. Do you ever see Three Amigos? What is a plethora? I have a plethora of index cards, so I can write them down. Allopathic medicine. Allopathic. I think I'm right. Allopathic refers to a system of medicine that treats diseases by using remedies such as drugs or surgery that produce effects different from those caused by the disease itself. It is commonly associated with modern science-based medicine practiced by medical doctors. So he actually is a doctor. He's not just Dr. Steve, right? Doom is everywhere. I am Doom. Another plot twist. Oh my God, you guys didn't see that coming, did you? When I'm writing on my phone, it's just me pretending to be Doom. Team Doom. I just like writing that. Like even when it's like not an issue. Team Doom. Also go follow Doom's channel, please, at Doomspaya. Doomspaya. I actually know how to spell this now, Doom, which is hilarious. Dooms. I was just like, what? Why? Oh, da 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 da. Okay. So, questions. Nobody's got health questions. We've got like 9 minutes before Mr. Dr. Steve is here. I feel like he's a dude that's probably on time. I'm gonna play with buttons because I can't help myself.
Me so horny. Me so horny.
I got better. I got better. I got better.
That's for you,
I
Danielle.
got better.
Why don't you make like a tree and get out of here? Why don't you make like a tree?
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said.
Oh, that's a nice sound. Reminds me of like Gladiator.
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what.
We got better. We got better.
That's for Danielle. But
Got better.
Danielle, can I have some water? Can I have some water? Danielle had the funniest story. So the last time Danielle was here was in June, and she went to. Well, I was at work, and so I went to. It was like take your friend to work day. So I went to work, and Danielle was like, "I'm going to walk around," and I was like, "Okay, please stay on these streets. Stay on Santa Monica Boulevard." Because we were in West Hollywood, that's where one of my bosses works. Let's just stay on Santa Monica. Don't go past this street. Don't go above this street. She texts me, I'm on Hollywood Boulevard. I'm at work, no, don't be on Hollywood Boulevard. Please go on any other street. But she wanted to go to the store. Hold on, Danielle. Guys, I'm going to get up because I want to show you something adorable. But Danielle had a plan. She was going to get something. She had difficulty getting water because they couldn't understand her. Do you remember, Danielle? She was like, it took me 5 minutes. They were like, what do you want? She was like, a bottle of water. I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating. But then Danielle came up with it. It creeped me out, to be honest. I love Danielle. I would marry Danielle if I was that kind of person, but I'm not, as you know. But I would live with her forever, and we talk about this kind of things all the time. She goes, so she came up with Ashley, it would creep me the fuck out. We were back in my apartment, and she's like, "Can I have a bottle of water?" And I'm like, "Stop! You sound like a robot. Stop it. It's weird." But I love you, but it's weird. So some of you guys might know about this store. Danielle is Danielle was a very, very intelligent person, obviously. She's one of my best friends. So there's a store called Funko on. Is Danielle still here? What did you write? Danielle, I can hear you saying, "Can I have a bottle of water?" And I was like, "Stop." Because Danielle's a very, she has a very unique accent. Not unique, Northern England. She got us these. Can you guys see them? I feel like, as Doom would say, I'm flying too close to the sun. Is that what I'm doing? Because the ring light. So this is Danielle and me. Can you tell which is which? Well, without the names, Danielle, honestly. Oh, I have the champagne, so you can tell. Danielle has a gaming device, like a Switch, or a gaming control and a computer. And then, well, hold on though, Danielle. What dog is that? Oh, that's Hondo and Nellie and Roxy. So Hondo's on the left, Nellie is in the middle, and Roxy's on the left. I have money and champagne. Can you see? It's so funny. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I was very concerned that she's on Hollywood Boulevard, because you know what happens on Hollywood Boulevard? I'll tell you. This is what happens on Hollywood Boulevard.
Mr. Honey, Mr. Honey,
I mean,
Mr. Honey, Mr. Honey,
tricky
Mr.
business there. Hollywood Boulevard it is. Dr. Steve's thoughts on, okay, what's the question? Thank you. Dr. Steve's thoughts on what? Thank you, Josh Pittman. Josh Pittman. Okay. That's a good question. Thoughts on, oh, yay, Dr. Steve is here. Dr. Steve.
Hello.
How
But
are
can't
you?
hear
Thank
me.
you for being early.
Hang on, I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can now. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
okay. I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you
me?
perfectly.
Oh, you can? Well, that's weird. Okay, wait a minute. Something isn't right then.
Take your time. Thank you for being here.
Better. How's that?
That's even better. It sounds like you
Yeah.
have a very, I won't
Yeah.
even say it because you're a married man.
Sotto voce. Let's see. I'm having some.
Take your time. Do you want me to take you off the screen for a second? We were coming up with questions for you.
Oh, okay.
You
I
wanna,
mean,
like,
are you
you
live?
want to sort out something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were live. I thought
Oh,
we were.
no. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, do you want me to remove you for a
No,
second? You
I'm
can
good.
diddle
I'm good.
around.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were on. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm so grateful that you're here. I was playing with buttons. I came here early because I'm playing with buttons and I didn't want to be a 12-year-old while you're here.
Oh no, I'll help. I can help you do some tech support if you need it.
Oh, awesome. How are you doing today?
Good. I've had a wild day, but it's better now. So
It's been a wild day. I think for everyone. I don't want to think it's just me.
no, there's something in the air.
It's totally. Do you believe in Mercury retrograde?
Well, I mean, I believe that there are phenomena that we can't explain very well, so we come up with things. But I don't believe that the minor planets affect how things are, because then it would be the same for everybody, right? Like, that's the problem I have with astrology, is that everyone born at the same time at the same moment should be the same, but they're not. So, that's my problem with it.
100%.
There's
But
way more to it than that. But go ahead.
of course, I was just going to say, like, NASA, who I don't necessarily trust, and you and I have talked about a lot of people I don't trust, but a little bit at least. NASA has come out and said that Mercury retrograde absolutely affects technology and communication and things. Sorry, we're going to say something?
No. I want to see that.
Oh,
If that's
okay.
true, I want to see it.
Look it up.
I
Or
will.
I can find it,
Yeah,
or can
absolutely.
someone in the chat please find it? Thank you in advance. But I have noticed when that specific planet goes in retrograde, which means it's going the
Right,
opposite
we're
direction it
passing it.
usually goes.
Correct.
Like,
You know
I
why
just
it's retrograde, right?
No, tell me.
Oh, okay. Well, because as it's in its orbit, and so if we're catching up to it, it's going forward. When we pass it, it looks like it's going behind us. It looks like it's going backwards.
So are you
it just
saying
has
it's
to
more
do
an
with our.
optical thing than it is an actual thing?
It's an actual thing, but it's how it appears to us. We have the same thing with Mars, for example. As Mars is moving, as we move past it, it goes. It looks like it's doing this, and then when we go past it, well, that's not a good example.
No, it was a perfect example, I think. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. And then then it starts to catch up with us again because it's moving with us, right? And so the ancients came up with these epicycles because it didn't make sense to them that a planet could move this way and then look like it moved backwards as we were catching up with it, and then move this way again. Okay, so here we go. So here's a good example. So then we're doing this, and now it's coming this way. And so they invented these epicycles, so that they thought that the orbits had to be perfect circles, because that's how else would God make it, right? And because the Mars in particular would move backwards in the sky sometimes and make this loop, they said, well, okay, it's got this perfect circular orbit, and then it makes these little tiny circles. And then Copernicus and Kepler particularly came up with the idea that the sun was in the center of our solar system, not rotating around us. And all of a sudden, it all made sense. These things aren't making these weird circles in the sky. It's just we're catching up with them, and then we're passing them. And it's an optical illusion. But it's actually happening, but it has to do with relative motion, our relative motion to the planet.
It's like when you're driving on a highway I'm trying to think
Yes,
of
I
it.
know where you're going with this. Go ahead. Yes, you're right.
I'm not going to say it right, so you say it, please.
No. Say it. Say it. You've
Like,
got it.
well, like when you're driving on a highway, I just don't think I'm going to say it right. If you know where I'm going with it, you can help me out today because it has been a day. But it's like when you're like driving by a truck and you can't really tell if the truck is going in front of you or
Correct.
that. You knew where I
That's
was going
relative
there.
motion. That's exactly right. So then Einstein came. Well, Galileo had relativity as well. Then there was Newtonian relativity, and the thing that Einstein did was start thinking about what happens when you're moving close to the speed of light. And but regular Newtonian relativity is that if you're on a train and you're standing still and the train is going by you at 40
Yes.
miles an hour and someone throws a ball forward at 10 miles an hour, you will clock that at 50 miles an hour, right? Because it's 40 miles per hour of the train plus the 10 that the person is throwing it at. If they're going in the direction of the direction of motion, right? The train's going this way, person is on here, and they throw a ball at 10 miles an hour, it will look to someone standing on the ground that the ball is going 50 miles an hour. Does it
And
make
this
sense?
all goes down to physics, right?
Right. Well, yes, but it's relative motion. So here's the person, and they're going this way, and they throw the ball this way, and to the person on the ground, it's going to look like it's going 50 miles an hour because they threw it forward at 10 miles an hour. Now, to the person on the train, to them, the ground is going past them. They are motionless, and they threw it, and it's 10 miles an hour. So they're measuring the same thing, but they're getting different results.
Don't you think visually there's like so much that can happen? Read that in terms of when cameras came into play, when photography,
Yes.
things like this,
And you
right?
can do it that way. You can actually take a
Before
camera and you can
AI, like
demonstrate that.
preceding AI.
Sure.
Sorry.
That's the problem now. You can't believe anything you see. But yeah, you could do this experiment anytime you want to with a car and a ball and somebody, measuring with a speed, a radar.
Yeah, right.
And
Like
you can do all that stuff. So, but anyway, now Einstein's thing was that the speed of light is always the same for all observers, and that includes people who are going at 9/10 the speed of light. You would think that you would add that together, that when when you flash the light in front of you, that it would creep in front of you because you're going so close to the speed of light. But in fact, you will always measure that beam as 300,000 meters per second. And the only way that can happen is if time slows down for you when you are traveling fast like that, because it can't happen any other
time
way.
travel.
Well, we are time traveling, aren't we? We're always traveling in time into the future. We just haven't figured out a way to go backwards yet.
You know a lot about a lot of things, and I'm just gonna scratch the
I
surface
don't
with
know
you
how we got
tonight.
off on that, but
no. We're gonna get off on everything. I hope. That sounds weird.
You are traveling into the future right now at 1 second per second. That's how that works. And light is traveling at 1 second per second in space-time. So you're actually traveling in time at the speed of light, which is crazy.
Can you and I discuss something? Because you
Sure.
have studied Einstein a lot. And can you promise me this is the first of many times you'll come? I know you only have 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I can't promise anything. I could be dead tomorrow, but I will
God
do my best.
forbid.
I will do my best.
Okay, so I looked into Tesla and Einstein.
Yes.
The AC and what is it?
That was Edison and Einstein and Tesla.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes. Yeah.
But Edison stole his Tesla stuff.
Yeah.
Tesla was right. There was the BC and the AC currents.
DC, direct current and alternating current. And Tesla was a
AC
fan
and
of
DC.
alternating current. Now, what where Tesla kind of went awry, even though we may be coming back to some of this now, it was he wanted to just broadcast power through the air. And so you would have a radio and it would just have an antenna that would actually power the radio rather than having to plug it in. Problem is, humans don't do real well under electrical fields like that. And if you may remember back in you're not old enough to remember, but in the 70s,
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the 1920s, but go ahead. Sorry.
Well, go
In the
ahead.
70s?
Yeah, in the
No,
70s, there
didn't
were.
Edison like blow up a bunch of houses and light bulbs and things like that because he used the wrong current when
Oh,
Tesla said to use this current?
I don't know that story. It
Oh,
could be. Yeah.
but what
But,
happened in the 70s?
well, people were taking fluorescent bulbs and going under power lines, and they would just light up. And then the concern was that there were higher rates of cancer under those high tension power lines. Because there was just this huge electrical field around them. I don't know if that was ever proven, but people were very concerned about that, and we would have been in that situation, just bathed in that stuff, if Tesla's ideas were correct. And the other thing Tesla couldn't imagine was the amount of power that runs cities these days, and that you couldn't just have one power generating station. You'd have to have lots of them. They'd all be competing. So really, using Edison's idea of running power through the wires, but using Tesla's idea of alternating current, you put the two together and you've got the system that we have now.
So basically, Edison, tell me if I'm wrong, like
Okay.
Tesla's idea made sense, but with modern day infrastructure wouldn't have. So it would be a
Correct.
mixture of the two.
Correct. Yeah. And the thing about alternating current is you don't have to have a positive pole and a negative pole, and then they're always, everything's going in the same direction. So the Tesla's idea was having this alternating current, and it works.
So basically, the alternating current, sorry to interrupt you, is just so that not one of the currents gets too overwhelmed, right?
Correct. Kind of. Yeah. It was, the DC was a lot less efficient. It was a lot less efficient. And Edison fought against alternating current just because he wanted his idea to prevail, and he was kind of an asshole.
Exactly. That's what I've heard.
And Tesla worked for Edison, and then he quit. And then Edison's like, well, I will destroy you, So,
right.
So
things tend to happen with people like this.
Correct. Yeah, sure. Yes. We're seeing a microcosm of it right now in a couple of universes that we follow. But, Tesla worked with George Westinghouse, where
Westinghouse. Why is that so familiar?
Well, they're Westinghouse Broadcasting, but also refrigerators and electrical devices and things like that.
Who give Edison all the credit, but don't they work with AC and DC? Or
they work with AC. Everything we have right now works with AC,
which was Tesla's thing.
That was Tesla's thing. And when you get to your house, then you put a diode on there, and you can change it back to DC, and then it can power things. So it's very interesting. So
meanwhile, like when I lived in New York, I don't know where you live, but my bills came from Edison.
Correct.
And I'm pretty sure that was after Edison.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But using AC currents, which
Con
is
Ed,
ironic.
right? Consolidated Edison, was that it? Yeah, it was the power company. Well, they ended up figuring it out, but Tesla had the AC motors and all those transformers and stuff that transform the voltage. So it was just much more efficient and a lot less loss. So you didn't have to generate as much power to get that much power to the home. So it was very interesting. They were both smart.
What do you love to talk about? I know that was just like an off the topic thing.
Not
what
that.
Do you love?
I'm not an
what
expert in that. I just know what
you know a lot. What are you most passionate about talking about?
I don't know. The things I like to talk about are bummers, end of life decision making and stuff like that.
I doubt that's a bummer,
but
and also I think
well, some people see it that way. It is important. If Terry Schiavo had a medical advanced care plan, Terry Schiavo was 27, and she had a stroke and was in a coma for 2 years, and her husband kept her alive with tube feeding, a gastrostomy tube placed in her stomach. And after 2 years, and I'm paraphrasing this whole thing, so if any of the Schiavo family are watching and I get anything wrong, please correct me. But after 2 years, he said, I don't think Terry'd want to live this way. So he wanted to pull her feeding tube and let her die naturally in hospice, because his idea was, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the way we left this world was we took to our bed and we stopped eating and drinking, right? I mean, that's how we died. If you didn't get killed in a duel or run over by an ox cart, that's how it happened. Matter of
I
fact, if you
love that
read,
you just use the word duel. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, if you read
Exactly. Though, yeah.
Shakespeare's Henry the
Eighth, fourth,
no, hang on,
fifth.
I guess it was Henry V. At the beginning of Henry V, Falstaff, who was a big part of Henry IV, is dying up in the top of the inn. And you never see him. You just hear the two people talking about him. And they were bringing him ale and they were rubbing his legs and all that stuff as he died. And so,
Ale is in beer, right?
Correct.
And ale is what, because back then alcohol was like the medicinal thing that you use.
Sure, why not? It was good for you. So they that was sort of a description of hospice care in a way, if you think about it, or at least comfort focused care. And that's how we died. Did you ever see the movie Moonstruck with Cher?
No.
If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it.
I do want to watch it.
It's one of the best. I'm not a romantic comedy guy, but I think Cher should have spent Moonstruck. She should have spent time of doing more acting and less singing, in my opinion. But she was brilliant in that, and Nicolas Cage is in it, and there's all kinds of good people. Olympia Dukakis, great people in that thing.
I managed my. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, at one point, Johnny Camerari has to go back to Italy because his mother is dying, and she just took to her bed and stopped eating and drinking. I don't want to spoil it, but
I want to ask you this because I managed my mother's hospice, and learning what hospice was once a person is declared terminal is pretty dark. And without me, because I want to also tell everyone, I thought Dr. Steve hated me because I'm just going to tell the public story that we talked about. There's an alt account of Dr. Steve.
I don't think they're impersonating me. I just think it's another doctor named Steve. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I am interrupting.
Then maybe I am the idiot. That happens a lot.
No.
But I thought it was like because I'd heard of you, and so a person with your picture was like, you are an awful person, or whatever version it was. But it was just negative. And then so when we started communicating, I was like, don't you hate me? But I'm so happy to have you. And since then, like, I really do. You're in my heart. And
I'm sorry that happened.
Until you know,
I don't remember that
don't
person
be sorry.
having
I want to
picture.
skip over that part. I just think it's a funny thing because also, guys, people create alt accounts. So make sure it's the person, because I literally thought this amazing gentleman didn't like me for some reason or other. But without me leading you at all, what is I mean, I know what it is, but what is hospice?
Okay, well, that was where Terry Schiavo was going, and I would like to finish that just because
there can be different versions. I don't know. You tell me.
Well,
it sounds like
hospice care
was a bit, right? She was alive for a while, but when you said
she was, but she didn't make it to hospice for the longest time because her parents said that they didn't think that they disagreed with the husband, so they went to court to stop him from
about
pulling
her
the tube.
Like
about him pulling the tube, right?
Okay.
And they were like, well, she would too.
I'm remembering, and I'm so sorry, but Terry Schiavo was like, she wasn't able to make decisions, right?
Correct.
At some point. Okay.
She was in a persistent vegetative state, which don't let anybody fool you. That is simply a coma with a sleep-wake cycle. And she was never going to get better. And he wanted to make her comfortable and let her die naturally, which would be without, but we didn't have feeding tubes until 50 to 100 years ago. So we do have the technology. So you could argue, well, we should use it. Well, okay, he didn't think that she would want that. The parents disagreed. They go to court to stop him. He goes to court. They let him.
And these are
do-
two humans that are not able, like she's not able to speak. So they're two humans, you know, with their own
Right.
emotion, right?
And
That
the
must
law
be so
is
tricky.
the law says that the spouse is speaking with her voice unless it can be demonstrated that he doesn't have her best interests at heart. But the law also will very often come down on the side of whichever party wants to do more aggressive treatment, because to not do that is irreversible, right? So there was a lot going on. So he'd go to court, they'd go to court, he'd go to court, they'd go to court. The Supreme Court refused to hear the case. Congress passed a meaningless resolution about it. Now MSNBC, CNBC, Fox News, all the usual suspects get involved. 24-hour news cycle. This went on for 14 years, Ashley.
Now I remember her name very well. And I remember she, like, if I'm not wrong, she had brown hair and she was kind of always looking in a bit of a compromised situation.
At the end of the 14 years. Yeah. Before that, she was a beautiful person.
An athlete, right?
And I think so. And I don't know why she had a stroke. I don't know what the circumstances
were. It's so young. Yeah.
But anyway, if she had had an advanced care plan, we never would have heard of her. And an advanced care plan is just a document that people set out that says, I'm going to make these decisions so that you don't have to. And it prevents people from doing things to you that you don't want. It also prevents your decision makers from people arguing with them, because it gives them medical powers of attorney that lets them speak with your voice. And then they use this document to say, no, this is what she wanted, what she didn't want, or what he wanted or didn't want.
It's not a comfortable conversation, but it's such an important one.
It should be, though. It should be. The thing,
it also shouldn't be super uncomfortable. You're right.
Correct. That my position on
more
that,
uncomfortable than that is people that love you, that are
don't know what to
emotional
do.
and fighting. Yeah.
Right. Yes, exactly. I'm going to give you a bell for that. Let's hear.
Give thyself a bell.
There you go.
I got a Dr. Steve bell.
It's that is way more uncomfortable, and we don't want to do things to people. We want to do things for people. So with that advanced care plan in hand, you can prevent people from doing things to you, and you can allow your decision makers to know what you want so they don't have to guess. And it shouldn't be an uncomfortable conversation. It should be as natural as talking about your blood pressure. And that's how, when I teach it to my students and residents and fellows, that's how I approach that you need to normalize this conversation. And so I'll tell my patients the story of Terry Schiavo. I'll just say, look, everybody needs this. And if I have a guy who says, I want my girlfriend to make my decisions for me, I don't want to say sell, but I can get them to do one of these every time, because I'll just tell them what's going to happen. They're going to end up getting hit by a car and in a coma, and they're not, they might be in a situation where they're never going to wake up, or even if they are, but their girlfriend's going to show up and say, he wanted me to make decisions. Then all of his family shows up and starts, well, she ain't even kin to us. I'm from Tennessee.
I like that. She ain't even kin to us.
Yeah, she ain't even kin to us. And they'll kick her out when actually that's what he wanted. So if you do this, it gives her powers of attorney. She can go, no, he wanted me to do it. And then the law will fall down on her side to make decisions for him. So.
I know you don't know anything about my mom's situation.
No, I don't. So we'll talk about hospice.
I just want to run it by you real quick. And I want to ask you how normal this is. I know California is weird. I'm sure it's different in every state.
I'll tell you about my mom when you're done.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it.
No.
Mine's going to be really short. So
okay.
once she was declared terminal, sorry, what? I beg your pardon, sir?
No, take your time. It's your show. Go ahead.
I know that you only have a limited amount of time, so
okay.
I'm very grateful for it, and I don't want to. So my mom was declared terminal, and then we moved to palliative medicine. And because she did not have any of the documents that you just mentioned, the state of California steps in.
Get the hell out.
I swear I couldn't make it. I wouldn't. So they declare my mother terminal, and then I'm declared the medical power of attorney. But because my mom didn't have paperwork, a woman, I can't even make it. Her last name was like Friendship or Friendish or something. I was just like, she's the least friendly person I've ever met. Yeah. She's like, well, I'm going to be making decisions for your mom now. And I was like, It was very strange. It was only 2 days that happened.
Were you declared incompetent or something? I mean, why
Me,
would they
no.
do that?
I was declared my sister actually gave me my sister was holding medical power of attorney and turned
And
it
she
over to me.
Which, by the way, you can always do. You can always defer decision-making to someone else.
Right, my
Even
sister said,
even
"Let Ashley
Yeah,
make all the decisions."
good.
So, I'm now dealing with Miss Not Friendly, we'll call her, who is from the state of California, showing up in the hospital, and then she
This
had
is
to
this is
she had to
not right.
decide that it all felt wrong, Dr. Steve, I'll tell you that. Mrs. Not Friendly decided she had to take 2 days to decide my mom was not after Whitney gave me medical power of attorney, she had to decide for herself over 2 days that my mom was not able to make decisions
She
for
didn't have
herself.
capacity.
Which, by the way, we knew for, like, years, arguably.
Okay.
So it was just strange because I was like, "Doesn't mom have paperwork?" Like,
Did someone
exactly what
consult the ethics committee or something? Is
Well,
that
it
what
was just
happened?
strange that, like, no, not to my knowledge. It was just strange that a stranger who
Yeah.
wasn't friendly with her name
Right.
Dr.
Right.
Friendly or Mrs. Friendly
She was
comes in
inaptly named.
and so after 2 days, "Okay, we've decided she's terminal. We can either move towards comfort or we can do Band-Aids." They
Yeah.
can you know what that means. And I
Yeah.
think most people do. And I said, "Comfort,
Yeah.
comfort."
Yeah.
And so it was 11 days. It shouldn't have been 11 days. The reason it was 11 days is because, of a situation that happened where someone gave my mom liquid and they were not supposed to.
They gave
But
her what?
as liquid,
Oh,
Coca-Cola
okay. Oh,
liquid.
well,
Well,
did she want it?
she did, but to my
Okay.
understanding, hospice is death by dehydration.
No, 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 that's not right, Ashley. It can be.
That's what we had a hospice
Oh,
company
boy.
and
God.
a hospice
Now
nurses,
yeah.
and they just said, "Increase the morphine, decrease the water."
Oh, okay.
And it was supposed to be 7
So, I'm not booing you, I'm booing them.
Okay.
Listen,
Yeah, I did as I was directed.
I know you did.
But then when,
Hospice
I'm
is
still
for the
friends with
living.
these hospice nurses, like, I'm like, "Wait, how do you still have a hospice patient from a month ago?" Like, I thought it was supposed to be 7 to 8 days.
No, 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 no. Okay, so let's talk about
I'm
that.
sure there are many versions of it, but
There's only one Medicare-approved version of it. So that Medicare is a federal program. It has rules that cover all 50 states.
why
And
did they give my mom the, like, craziest situation? Like, they were
I
like,
don't know.
every single day decrease, and we had 2 nurses coming in, a live-in
Well
nurse and a hospice
that
care, like, company or whatever, and I was there, and I just did what they told me to
Let
do,
me not say
obviously.
that anybody did anything wrong, okay? Because I'm not saying that. There's probably way more to this, but let me just tell you how it's structured.
Okay, let me just add one thing.
Ideally.
My mom
Yeah,
wasn't
go ahead.
able
Go
to
ahead.
eat.
Go ahead.
She wasn't able to eat, so she
Okay.
wouldn't have been able to return back to the assistant living. So
Yes.
is that why they might have expedited it? I don't know, but, like,
That's not
I
a
was
reason to expedite anything, so I would say no to that.
okay.
Um,
Why would
the
they say 7 it should take 7 to 9 days, and
It
this is
will
taking
if you're
it
not eating or drinking. So
well, if
that's
I'm pretty sure you'll confirm with me,
yeah,
we can go quite a bit of time without food, but without water, what is it,
correct.
6, 7 days?
Yes, very good. I would give you a bell if it just wasn't such an
I'll
awful
give myself a
subject.
bell. Boop, 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 boop.
So what they found from starvation studies, if you don't eat but you only drink water, you'll live around 60 days. If you don't eat or drink, it's usually around 7 days. Although I have seen people go 30 days with nothing to eat or drink, but that's in very special circumstances where the person decreased eating gradually to the point where they were living on a couple tablespoons of Jello for the last 2 months of their life.
Well, that's what we would just give her medicine with
Yeah,
Jello and stuff,
sure.
but
But I'm saying over a long period of time, then that person could live a lot longer than 7 days. But let me, without saying anything specific about your case, we can talk offline about it. But the way it's supposed to go is hospice is for the living, it's not for the dying. You have to have a 6-month, not 6-day prognosis. So, in other words,
Wait, hold on. But okay. Maybe there's information that might
Okay.
change what you're saying.
Yep.
My mom had been in the hospital for in like 4 or 5 times in the preceding 3 years before
Right.
declared terminal, and like she wasn't going to be able to swallow. There was some chunk in her there's some chunk in her like the top of her stomach. Literally, the doctor said it looked like poop. I was like, could you have thought of anything easier or like less
Yeah.
like
She had a-
inauspiciously visual for me?
Right.
Like
You-
she's like, it
If
looked
you have
like
a
a
bowel
piece of
obstruction,
poop.
you can have poop in there, but it was probably what's called a Bezor, where she just had a stricture in her esophagus and something got stuck there.
And then they
That
said she
prevented her
might
from
not
eating.
leave the hospital because of the
Okay.
liability. So they took off, she was in ICU. Whitney and I were allowed to go anytime. Like they took off the visiting hours. They were like, we're going to pull out all the life support. My mom was on a ventilator. She was on
Okay.
like a bunch of stuff. You get it.
Yep.
And
So
then
far,
when
that's
they called
reasonable.
us Saturday morning, they said, okay, we're going to, what are your plans? You can pick her up now. We're like, Whitney and I are just like struggling, like we're like finding a place to put her because she can't go back to the
Right.
assisted living because they're not ready for feeding tube and stuff like this. And so we get an Airbnb, and you actually have to find Airbnbs that will approve people to die there. So we had to
Yeah.
find an Airbnb that would let someone pass there because my sister wouldn't let it happen at her house.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's
Which is
reasonable.
fine, fair enough.
And you didn't want to go to a nursing home because that's the other place you
Well,
could
we didn't
go.
want to. Yeah, of course, we didn't leave her alone. But also,
Right.
the team was like, "Okay, this is going to be a 6 to 10-day
Yes.
maximum
Okay. In her
process."
situation, that's correct.
So this is an appropriate. My mom's situation was appropriate for her situation.
That sounds like it. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now that I understand the circumstance,
And the reason the
that's not
non-friendly
atypical.
lady came in was because my mom had been in the hospital 6 times in 3 years or something like this.
Okay. Well, that could have been an ethicist. It could have been a palliative care person. I just don't like their approach to it. They should have
I don't
explained
either,
things better.
frankly. I
But,
wish you were there. I wish I knew you at that time.
Well, and I'm always there for people who are in this situation, so people
Bless
can
you.
reach out to me through my website, and I'm happy to answer questions. Or I've even intervened before in a situation like this. So I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying
I'm
I'm
patting you on the back.
I'm so passionate about this that I'm happy to help if somebody finds himself in a similar situation. But hospice is a 6-month thing. The only criteria you need to get into a hospice program is to have 2 doctors, one the treating doctor and one the hospice medical director, to agree that if you stop treatment of whatever it is, it could be congestive heart failure, emphysema, cancer, any of the stroke, that you would probably be gone from this world within 6 months. That doesn't mean you have to die in 6 months. We've had some people in hospice for 2 and 3 years before.
That's what I didn't understand because the only
Well,
experience
I
I
can
had
tell
was
you.
with my mom. So I was like,
Sure.
people
Well, your mom was
chill and
critically ill.
And for 13 years, her stroke was in 2011. So
Yeah.
she was,
Well, you guys
a
did an amazing
prisoner.
job. Keep
Thank you.
taking care of her, and then at the end, I mean, that's the way to do it. You do the best you can, and then when you can't do it anymore, you check out. But her situation was
It wasn't like I wanted to give up. I thought that
course.
was the only option.
Thank you
But
for bringing
you're
up
saying that the like knowing a little bit more about her situation, that was the appropriate
correct
course of action.
And she was critically ill. She was on life support. I probably should have waited.
She was
till you
on
told
4
me
or
the
5
story.
different forms of life support.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then you withdrew. We don't withdraw care. We withdraw treatment. And then they said, barring a miracle, she's probably got 5 to 7 days to live. And so you all opted to make her comfortable for the
Exactly.
end of her days. That's perfect. That's actually how that should go. When you first started talking about it, they were saying, well, you have to do this and you have to do that. You don't have to do anything. 6-month prognosis gets you in the door. You have to agree that you're no longer pursuing curative or life-prolonging treatment. But hospice for the living, it's not for the dying. In some cases, it is for the dying. When the medical team waits as long as they did with your mom, then it becomes, well, we just need to give her a good death. But for a lot of people in hospice who have stage 4 cancer and they've just decided, I'm sick of being poked and prodded with needles.
That's where we were at. I was like,
Yeah.
just stop. Like they were
Yeah.
like, they were at one point, you know, I was kind of uncomfortable. I was like, they were like, your mom's not dying. I'm like, pretty sure she is. Without
Yeah.
4 to 5 forms of life support she's on right now,
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
would
yeah.
not be with us.
Correct.
And also she's been in this situation she died December 13, 2022, but her stroke that took away half the use of her body happened in 2011. So it was like a long time, and it just, you know, COVID really blew it out because she
Yeah.
was, you know, her people couldn't come and do
It was
therapy, all that
horrible.
stuff.
They
It was
couldn't come to visit during the beginning of it.
I had to go see her at surgery. Another thing that happened like 6 months before she was declared terminal was like her the bottom part of her colon had to be removed.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff was happening, and so she was never going to be able to eat. She was never going to be able to live at all normally again.
Right.
So I think that's correct me if I'm wrong. There are different versions of hospice, which I didn't know because I'm still very good friends with the hospice nurses.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have this hospice client and he's skiing right now. And I'm like,
But
how
it's
can a
still-
hospice
It's the
client be
same.
skiing?
It's still the same. It's the same thing. It's just a continuum. You know, there's a continuum that you have. So I have some patients that are still, you know, walking a mile every day, but they're in hospice because they have stage 4 cancer and they are no longer pursuing treatment. So they qualify for hospice. But then, yes, there are
It's a
some people that,
qualification thing. Okay.
yeah, and remember the qualification is 6-month prognosis, not seeking curative or life-prolonging treatment. Now, you brought up something I do want to say something about. You said, you know, you didn't want to give up. We don't ever give up, but you can lay down your arms at the end of a long battle with honor. That's not the same thing as giving up.
Believe me, like if there was anything, but I was like
Yeah.
with my father, his stroke was also impossible. He had what they call, you might be familiar, the king of strokes. He had the brain stem. They said there was a lemon
Yeah.
the size of a brain stem in his a lemon, something the size of a lemon in his brain stem.
Centimeter.
Thank you. And then there's 2 strokes, and then there's the aneurysm one with the blood, and then my mom had the blood one. So
Okay.
she was just kind of slowly.
Subarachnoid hemorrhage.
What is it called?
Subarachnoid hemorrhage.
Do they call that the queen of strokes too?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they might. Who knows
So
what they call things in
when I walked
California.
into my dad, even when my dad was in a coma, I
Yeah.
would be like, "Let's go. We're good." Like, you know, da da da. When I saw my mom on the ventilator after she had been in the hospital, after her colon had been removed, after all these things that happened in the last 2-3 years, I was like, "Don't worry
Yeah.
about a thing." Like it wasn't like I wasn't rooting for her. It was like
Right.
I wanted her to just finally be able to
You
be
just
at
knew.
peace.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we were there for like 2 more weeks in the hospital, and they were doing different things. And you said poking and prodding. I literally think I said that. I was like, just leave my mom's body alone. Like
Yeah.
we already know. Like let her. Like what's the move here? And it was after 2 weeks. It was like, you know, and that was the move. So in that case, you would approve that hospice that person
No, it all
goes to
sounds
heaven
sounds
as soon as
absolutely reasonable.
possible.
What doesn't sound reasonable is how they approached you with it.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean,
That-
everything about it is weird. But again, if
That's why
people
I was
listened to you
misunderstanding things
and
because
had
you were telling me
paperwork,
what they were
sorry,
saying to you. It didn't make any sense.
Which part?
Oh, that's why I misunderstood what was going on in the beginning because you were telling me what they were saying to you, and the things they were saying to you could have been done a lot better than that. But anyway,
But again, back to what you were saying in the beginning, if people had a chance, maybe when they had a stroke or had some kind of illness or sickness, to fill out paperwork or decide who makes decisions
yeah,
at a
don't wait
certain
till then.
point,
Do it
there would
before then.
all of that would have been, you know, yeah.
Yep, do that. Terry
Because then I
Schiavo was
have this not
27.
friendly lady who doesn't even know my mom, by the way,
Right.
deciding
you-
whether she's able. And my mom is sarcastic, and the
Yeah.
energy she had, she was probably cracking jokes.
Yeah, sure. Well, you're probably not old enough to remember Armistice Day, but Armistice Day is now Veterans Day, but it was the 11th day of the 11th month, 11th hour, and it celebrated or honored the end of World War I. And what happened on Armistice Day was that nobody gave up. They just stopped fighting. The men and women on that battlefield just stopped fighting. They didn't give up. And it was such an honorable thing that we had a sacred holiday, Armistice Day. If you read Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse 5, he
I
talks
love
about
Kurt Vonnegut.
Armistice Day.
Armistice Day?
Well, he read it's in the book Slaughterhouse 5, but he talks about Armistice Day being a sacred holiday. Veterans Day, very important, but it was sacred because it was almost magical, that they just stopped fighting. And we can do that too. We don't give up. If I have stage 4 cancer and I've decided that I don't want to be poked and prodded anymore, I just want to go home and be comfortable till I leave this
people
world.
that I love around me. Yeah.
It's not giving up. It doesn't have to be giving up.
It's
surrender.
It's
laying down my arms at the end of a long battle with honor, just like the men and women on the battlefield at Armistice Day did. So,
and I felt like
okay.
that was what my mom was doing. It was like, it was one of the most brave things. Like, it was one of the bravest things I've ever seen anyone do,
Yeah. Well, and you did the right thing by her, despite the unfriendly lady.
Yeah. Well, once we got out of the hospital, Whitney got a house in Malibu. We had her sitting on the beach.
That's awesome. You guys did amazing. Most people aren't that lucky to have 2 daughters that would.
Well, meanwhile, my mom was pissed, by the way, because she wasn't so sure. She's like, why am I not back in what are you and Whitney up to? Like Whitney and I were like, Whitney and I were like,
knew you.
Dude, the first hospice nurse that came, I'm there and I'm like listening because I need to know everything. I need to know the medication. I'm the one staying there. And my mom's like whispering. She goes, I was talking to the doctors. We were getting somewhere. What are Whitney and Ashley up to? And the hospice nurse is doesn't even know the doctors at the hospital. You know what I mean? He's like, sure. Your daughters love you, and look where you are, and there's the ocean right here.
Yeah,
and
they're up to something.
Exactly.
Good for her. That's hilarious.
I think she was more freaked out. Whitney and I were in the same room together. She was like, "Did I? Am I in another place already?"
Yeah.
Why are you guys in the same room in front of me?
I'll fuck with my kids the same way when it's my turn.
I'm sure you've done all your paperwork.
They're trying to poison me. Oh, I've already written my obituary.
Aw.
Yeah, no, but it's funny though. I had a friend of mine died and his obituary was he had a couple of good jokes in it. And I said, I'm not going to let him beat me. So I sat down and wrote my own. Derek Richards, I don't know if you know him, he's a comedian. He helped me punch it up a little bit. So it will be.
I'm not gonna have some lame ass jokes at my place of when you guys are remembering me, right?
Well, it's going to be quite scandalous when it finally hits the paper, if they'll even publish it. So I'm excited about it. I wish I could see it.
It's so funny that you mentioned that. My sister one day came over and neither of us really knew, we were just doing what they said and morphine every 4 hours and,
Sure.
comfort and massaging her feet and playing Enya and all these things. But my sister came in with this idea. And at the time I was like, Whitney, I was like, no. She's like, Mom, she wanted to plan my mom's obituary and her funeral. She wanted my mom to plan it. I'm like, Whitney, this is really dark. Also, she's on morphine. I'm not sure she wants to plan her funeral right now.
So what did she say?
Well, my mom was kind of out of it.
Oh, okay.
But Whitney was like, this is what mom would want. My mom was in public relations her whole life. She probably would. I mean, the plot twist is that Whitney never had a funeral or wanted to organize one, even obituary, as far as I know. So, but I felt at the time it was like, let her rest. Just tell her how much you love her and, hang out with her and blah, 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 just spend time. Don't make her organize her own funeral.
Well, unless she wants to. But
right. But now that you're
Coke,
speaking, it's like it could have
been
been something cool that she was enjoying. I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just saying if she wanted to, since she was in she was a publicist or she was in PR or whatever. Maybe she, if she wanted to. My thing is, okay, 2 things happen when someone becomes terminally ill is people go, I don't know what to say. And what I tell them is you don't have to say anything. Just be there. Just be there. Don't disappear. That's the worst thing you can do.
The worst thing you can do.
Yeah, it really is. But the other thing is, if they want it, let them have it. I've had people go, well, mama, you can't have ice cream when you're dying because you have diabetes. It's like, who cares? Their blood sugar's
See,
400.
I might have made that
You know,
mistake because they told me, then Whitney brought her Coca-Cola one day, and the nurse that came the next day was like, she said, everything is like the body is like a house. So the lights just start turning off. Like, the diapers aren't wet anymore as we're increasing comfort, morphine, decreasing hydration. So when Whitney gave her like 6 Cokes, that elongated the process for 3 days or 4
fine.
days.
It's what she wanted it.
She did.
Okay.
And I
so
hated
let her
saying
have
no
it.
to her, by the way. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I thought that I was being like that. This was my
I
biggest
guess that's the
mistake.
one thing I take issue with them telling you, because in my
'Cause even in
opinion,
my mom's situation with what she could have had a few Cokes and a few more days and some ice cream, right?
well, she did. Whitney gave her Cokes, and she lived a couple extra days, and she probably was happier for it. And
But
then
then the hospice
you
nurse the
guys
next
didn't have
day
to
was
feel
like,
like, oh no, you can't have this, mom, even though she wants it. You don't have to be put in that position. That
well, it
hospice
was a
nurse
weird
shouldn't have put you in
position
that
because I
position.
was like, they pushed me kind of out, like, Ashley, you're working too much, like, go like out. They literally pushed me on a kayak in Malibu.
Yeah.
But when I
Oh,
came
poor
back,
thing.
I know it was terrible. The hospice nurse was like, Ashley, I don't know what to do. She had a Filipino accent. I don't know what to do. Your sister gave your mom a bunch of Coca-Colas. And then the next day, Alma comes and she goes, remember how I told you to look on the feet? Like there's something to see on the feet.
Yeah.
They turn a different color, and then the diapers won't be wet, and all these things. And she goes, we're back where we were 3 days ago. Like we
Okay.
had made some kind of mistake. But
No.
you're telling me that we could have like chilled with her a little bit longer.
I'm not saying could have, would have. What you did was, I think it was fine. And it's not up to the medical team to decide when a patient is supposed to die.
I just felt, thank you for saying that. But
Yeah.
I just felt like, and also I'm a very particular person, and this is ironic, but you're gonna get it. So she's taking morphine and it's like it's in a syringe, and
Sure.
it's 0.5,
So
I think.
the
And
super
then
concentrated stuff is 20 milligrams
it's
per
pink,
ml. So she
if
was
that's the
getting
color.
10
I
ml
was
or 10 milligrams.
so careful, Dr. Steve,
Sure.
about wait for it, about how much she got.
Yes.
Like, I didn't wanna give her too much because I was gonna
Right.
kill her. Like, my brain was obviously in trauma mode because of
It's
everything
very
that was
common.
happening,
That's
but
fine.
I was like, I don't wanna give her too much, and then it was
Right.
not until one of the hospice nurses was like, "Ashley, you can give her a little more." Like, and I was like, "But what it."
You gave her
Oh,
how much they told you could give, right?
exactly.
That's fine. And
And I
then
didn't
you did
sleep
exactly the right
for
thing.
11 days. I did not sleep, and the nurses wanted
Oh,
to do we had a caretaker there. I was the person that had the little sheet on the refrigerator at 3:43, 8:43, because it was every 4 hours, and they were
yeah.
like, "We can do this for you," and I was like, "No, this is my mom. I'm doing it."
Good for
But
you.
I was like, damn, like looking back, I should have given her like, I'm not gonna say twice as much, but
No.
I could have been more liberal, right?
No. No, you gave her how much was prescribed, and that was
Exactly how
correct.
much
If
was
she needed
prescribed.
more, you would have told them, and they would have said, "Okay, you can give her X number more," and that's how much you would have given her. If you had doubled up, let me give you a scenario. Let's say you had just said, "Fuck these nurses. I'm going to give her how much I want to give her," and you gave her a double dose, and then she passed away a couple hours later, you'd be still blaming yourself for that,
It's
even
kind of a,
though she was
a
close to the end. So you
lose-lose.
did exactly the right thing.
Thank
You
you.
did
Thank you for
exactly the right
saying
thing.
that.
And
But
I don't
looking
want to
back,
say
I do
anything
feel like
looking
I
back,
could have
anybody
done.
did anything wrong. You and your sister did everything right. The people
It's
I
an
have
impossible situation, right?
issues with in this situation is the way you're telling me is how they were speaking to you. That's my issue. Is telling you, oh no, now, oh, you gave her a Coke and now we took 3 steps back. No, she's making urine again, and she got to enjoy a 6-pack of Coke, and that's what she wanted. And she's gonna, yeah, she may die a day or two later than she would have had she not had that. So what? long as she wasn't writhing and suffering during those days, and somehow we prolonged her suffering, that's that's not a problem.
Will you just help
So
me
you did the
forgive my
right thing.
sister for something, because they made me feel like my sister made this huge mistake,
I'm
and
so
I
sorry
was
that they
kind of
did
mad
that.
at her, like,
Oh
"Yo,
no.
wait, why would you do that? Like, we
Yeah.
have a plan.
Yeah. Tell
We're
your
following."
sister that if your mom wanted it and it didn't make her choke and it
No, I
didn't
feel like I should have given her Cokes.
well, you had your
But I
sister
thought I
that
was
did
being
that.
the hard person that had to make the hard decisions
Yeah,
based
that's
on
okay.
exactly what
You
they were
can't
telling
woulda,
me.
shoulda, coulda this stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't want you thinking that I'm being critical other than of the way you were spoken to by those professionals,
Well, I
because
wanna
I don't want other people listening to this to think that that's how hospice is,
Well, I
because
wanna
that's
ask
not what
you, like, I
hospice
don't
is.
know, like, what state you're in, but in California, they have these hospice companies. So it's like you get a
Right.
hospice person that is a caretaker. Like, I just knew my mom didn't want me to change her diapers. I just knew
Yeah.
that would be I would have done it. I just knew that
I don't want my
she
kids changing my diapers. I get that 100%.
So there was a woman that was staying there, and she did the diapers and stuff like this and changed the sheets, and I was downstairs the whole time, and then, there was 2 nurses that came every single day
Yeah.
that were checking her,
Yeah.
all of her
Right.
everything, and, this company, and there are many of them, because I had to actually shop companies, and I got a
Mhm.
referral from this company and that company. So we went with the one company we went with, and they basically it wasn't they were militant, but they were very, specific about how things
Regimented.
were
Yeah.
supposed to go,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, you need to diet by
Is that in every
9
state
AM on
or
Tuesday or whatever.
Right, right.
I don't like that. Your days on this earth are numbered by greater hands than ours, no matter what you believe, whether it's the universe or your creator or whatever. And it's not for people. It's not our job to ensure anything other than the fact that the patient is comfortable until they actually do leave this world, you know. And that's our job. And then the timing of it is out of our hands. Should be out of our
What
hands.
is it that I know you have to go soon. You said 45
Yeah,
minutes,
we're
and
okay.
I've got you 3
This is
minutes over.
important. I don't want to.
What are you specifically focused on? Are you like a hospice
Me.
guy or
Yeah, I mean, I'm.
or
How can I?
I read your bio before you got here. I can read it again.
That's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I'm in academics, but I do patient care, and my patients are all have advanced illnesses.
So
And
you're working with end of life circumstance then.
some patients are end of life, some are not. And I've done hospice for 40 years, but my specialty is called hospice and palliative medicine, and I focus on the latter part, palliative.
Palliative.
Mhm.
Is palliative like mostly like I remember we're moving your mom to palliative medicine. You have to talk to this palliative person. So that's when I first heard that word.
Palliative medicine is a medical subspecialty, just like cardiology or dermatology or pulmonology. We just unfortunately have a name that doesn't have ology at the end, and that's what causes a lot of the confusion. And there's palliative radiation, there's palliative chemotherapy, and then there's this palliative medicine person, and they're all using the word differently, so it's very confusing. But I just explain to people palliative medicine deals with basically 3 things: pain, symptom management, medical decision making. Those are the big things. We do all the legal medicine, but we walk people through advanced illnesses and focus on cover. The term palliate, which is the Latin root, it means to cloak, and so I don't like to think of it that we're just throwing a blanket over people's symptoms. I'd rather think of it as my brother is cold alone in my cloak. That's kind of the way I look at it. And it's
Instead of covering or masking, right?
Well, that's why I'm trying to avoid the whole masking idea.
Right,
But
the opposite is what you're saying.
if you're cold, I'll loan you my cloak. It's just kind of a way to get around that. But the
Semantics.
term comes from palliate, which means to cloak, which would be masking. Just treating symptom management.
So I know that I don't have you for long. Will you promise me that you'll come back?
Yes, I'm sorry that we got off on all of this.
No, it's
So,
important stuff.
yeah.
I didn't know where to start with you, to be
That's okay.
honest.
Yeah,
And thank you so much for being there for
we
me.
didn't need a place to start, so we just went
Thank
to
you for
this
being
naturally.
there.
So,
Dr. Steve was there for me through what was the scariest 3 months ever, which was the past 3 months. And it was amazing that you were there for me in the ways that you could be.
you seem great.
Thank you.
Are we good? I mean,
I think we're out of the woods. I
Good.
have lung function tests next week.
have you told your viewers what happened?
Yes,
What's
I
going on with you?
actually
Okay,
made a
okay.
video
I didn't wanna-
yesterday and pumped you up
Oh, you
coming.
did? I didn't do
Called
anything.
Health is Wealth, because I've never experienced anything like that.
Yeah.
And I reiterated, I was like, I'm not going to say his name. So Dr. Steve is the one that told me not to be afraid of Western medicine. And I was, and I waited too long to get to Western medicine, which might have exacerbated it, but also the misdiagnosis as well. Sorry. you were
There's
gonna
some
say something.
stupid shit in Western medicine too, but what my point in this case was not to fear Western medicine for this, because this is something that we're actually good at. Now, my partner is an Eastern medicine specialist, so when I can't make people feel better, they all go to Dr. Scott, and they all come back 100% of the time feeling better. I'll rule out all the things that could kill them, and then he may diagnose them with a malodorous third chakra or whatever, but he's given it a name. That's what people want. They want a name for their illness, and he can do that. And so we make a good team.
I was going to say, it sounds like you make an excellent team. Do you
Yeah.
believe that the body will always heal itself if it's given the proper environment to do so?
Yes and no. If that were true, if that were always true, let me put it that way, then just by chance, there'd be at least 2 or 3 400-year-old people running around. If it could always heal itself. The weird thing is we have a hard stop, and it's right around 120 years of age. Very few people have made it to that, and almost no one has made it over that we know of. So, and the people that live to be 120, particularly that group of people in the Ural Mountains that drink vodka and smoke cigarettes every day and live to be 120, their secret to living that long is they don't ever get sick. That's it. They just don't get
Do you
sick.
think that's the alcohol killing the germs? Because I did
No,
see something about that, but
I don't know. I don't know, but they just don't get sick. And if you start entering
you think that's
into
because
the
they're away
medical
from other
system,
people? What do you mean they don't get sick? Sorry if I'm
they just don't
asking
get
an
sick.
annoying
I mean,
question.
well, it's kind of a joke. It's, if you want to live up to be 120, don't get sick. But that is the key to it. Most of these people that live that long don't have chronic illnesses. So they don't have congestive heart failure. They don't have emphysema. They don't have high blood pressure. They haven't had strokes and heart attacks and stuff.
Can I make a guess? Most of these people don't live in big cities.
That might, well, the folks in Europe that are like that definitely don't, because they're all in rural areas. But I that's a great damn question. We need to look that up and see if any
I'm
of the
wondering the correlation.
120-year-olds in the United States lived in big cities. That's a very interesting question. I don't know the answer to that. Now I'm going to have to look it up. See, you've given me homework.
Yay. Maybe for the next time that you're on, which will
Sure.
hopefully be very soon.
Absolutely. Anytime you want. Well,
Can I make a sound for you? Because I learned how to make sounds.
if it's not that elephant sound that one of our friends makes.
Oh, I don't know the elephant sound. I just found these sounds.
Okay. Yeah, what is it?
I don't even know what.
Oh, you have a soundboard?
That's
Well,
what she
it's
said.
not a-
That's what she said. That's what she said.
It's just a bunch of different. It's my friend's soundboard. It's not mine.
Let's go.
But it's just funny sound. Let's see. I don't have one in specific that would.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's silly. That's
Well,
why
that's
it's funner.
because
Like,
you're an idiot.
you're not wrong.
I'll play you my favorite one.
Okay, what is your favorite one?
I was call screening for a friend of mine, and he actually had Colin Quinn on. And so while they were talking, I got this character from Opie and Anthony days named Lady Di, and she was known to just go on and on and on and on and on ad infinitum. and she loved Colin Quinn. So I called her on the phone and I put her on with them. And she ran her mouth for like 20 minutes. And then at the end of it, she was like, well, so Carl, how are you? And he just said, I got to go. So it ruined the guy's interview with Colin Quinn. It was a big deal for him. I'm an shitty friend. So anyway, the next night he was at Helium Comedy Club and he recorded this.
Dr. Steve, I hope you're better at prostate screenings than you are at radio screenings, you son of a bitch.
So I love that.
Is that Colin Quinn speaking?
Mm-hmm.
That's very funny. I haven't heard of him in a while. He didn't.
No, he's still around, as far as I know. I haven't seen him tweeting. He used to tweet. He had a hilarious Twitter feed. It was just very sarcastic and dry, and it was great. And he's one
He
of
was
my
always
favorite
funny
people.
and sarcastic and dry.
He's
Do you have
so-
a favorite comedian?
Right now, I'm going to say probably Dave Landau.
I don't even know who that is.
He's,
I'll have to
he's-
look him up.
He's very iconoclastic, and he had a rough early go, as so many comedians do, and he's got a million great stories. And I just love him. I love him as a human being, but he is also one of my best friends, and so I'm very biased, but I love Dave. So
I'm going to keep you as long as your wife will let me. Thank
she's
you.
long asleep, but I do have.
I
work
know
to-
that you do have to go. Can you give us like things that we should do to stay healthy? I wanted to talk to you about stress. Do you
Okay.
think it's the number one offender?
Yep. Yeah, we just did a whole show on that. There was
What's your show? Yeah, plugs. You have a show? What's your show?
Oh yeah, it's called Weird Medicine, and I have a YouTube channel. I'm trying to make a bit of a left turn into video content creation. I was an old radio person, and so I had a radio show on SiriusXM, and I trained in analog television and radio back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. Well, actually, shit, I graduated in 77, so in the late 70s. But so I've always have just done radio, and Eric Nagel said you need to have a video component, so we started just doing sort of behind the scenes. We put cameras in here, and we had cameras on while we do the podcast. And more recently, I've decided I'm going to try to do some more content creation. But where was I going with that? What was the question?
My question was like, what else are you doing? And then
well.
Weird Medicine plugs. Where can people find you? I didn't even know you had that. But again, you do know, like,
I was going somewhere with
my
that.
brain. No, my brain is just coming back online. So maybe our next conversation is going to be more structured and together. But you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you've seen people that have been not like, I wasn't sleeping more than 2 hours for 3 months. So like, I wasn't like thinking properly. I feel like I'm still not, but I didn't even know you had a podcast. So it's Weird Medicine. Everyone, please go subscribe, all 9 of you.
All right.
To Weird Medicine. And that's on YouTube, correct?
Yeah, that's one place you can do it. Anywhere podcasts are found.
And how often do you guys do shows?
Every 10 days. We used to do once a week, and I've made the compromise. It was either stop doing it or do it at a reduced schedule. So I gave up the SiriusXM show and are just doing the podcast now, and then doing video creation. So I have a video studio downtown, and I'm just getting started with that. I've got a green screen down there and a video editing console and all that stuff. So
congratulations. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Are you doing it with your Eastern medicine friend?
Not yet. I do my show with him, but I haven't done any of this stuff with him. But he's shown some interest, so we'll see. He just shows up. I do all the show prep. I do everything. I do, I put the whole thing together. I produce it. He just shows up and talks for a couple of hours. But that's fine. That's all I need him to do.
Vaping, cigarettes, or neither?
Well, neither. But if you had to pick one, as long as it's an approved vape, that's always better than smoking. The thing that drives me crazy, these guys that have looks like a clarinet with a big tub on it, and then they're just blowing out these giant clouds of smoke. that not only cannot be good for you, it's been demonstrated to not be good for you, but cigarettes have carbon monoxide.
It's combustible as well, right?
Right,
Nicotine in
right.
combustible form.
You have all the products of combustion, carbon monoxide, tar, nitrosamines, all these things that are carcinogenic. But nicotine, a lot of people don't realize is nicotine itself has its own unique problems. Number one, it's a vasoconstrictor, so it's going to constrict the blood vessels, the arteries in particular, which is going to raise your blood pressure, make stroke more likely. But one thing people don't think about or know about is it's an activator of an enzyme called protein kinase C, which is actually a tumor promoter. So I tell people if they get lung cancer, they go, well, why should I quit smoking now? It's because, well, the tar caused the cancer, but the nicotine can promote its growth. So there's still reason to quit.
Is there I heard that there is a medical or a beneficial aspect component of nicotine. Is that not true at all? Not in combustible form and
Well,
non-combustible form.
nicotinic acid is, there's nicotinamide riboside, and it's a nicotine analog. And I have to look that up because it's been a while since I've looked this up, but
Wait, hold on.
Yep, go
Please
ahead.
give me 1 second. I have a sound for that.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
You have
It's been a
Jeopardy
while.
sound.
You just said that, right?
It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's
Oh
been a
boy.
while.
Sorry.
Let me look
I'm
let me
like
look at
5
it.
years old, really.
That's all right. That's all right. Everybody that first gets a soundboard does exactly that. And then all right, here we go. So let me see. Okay. Actually, nicotinamide does not activate nicotine receptors in the brain. And so let me see. I'm trying to see if they're chemically related. Oh, okay.
There's some Landau fans here.
I'm guessing. Okay, I misspoke. So not the first time tonight. But anyway, so if there are beneficial
benefits
effects
to nicotine and not a combustible form, or no? Because
I'm not really aware of any.
CIA came up with it, and there's like a reason why. I don't know.
Okay,
Caffeine and nicotine.
Let me see.
But you have to take it in like specific ways, like not combustible form for nicotine and
Okay.
caffeine in a different.
This is what I thought. So nicotine, because it is a stimulant, can act as a nootropic or nootropic, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So it can have improvements in cognitive effects, in other words, memory, executive function, and that kind of stuff.
Just to be clear, we're not advocating anyone pick up nicotine, right?
Right. No, they're still doing clinical trials on this, and there are significant downsides to chronic nicotine use. So, but it can enhance working memory, alertness, fine motor skills, that kind of stuff. So there are some, everything has just a bunch of effects. Some of them are beneficial, some of them are adverse, but they're all just effects. For example, aspirin has lots of effects. One is it's good for rheumatoid arthritis pain, but it also prevents heart attack and stroke. So it's two beneficial effects, completely different and almost unrelated to each other, but it also has other effects that can cause GI bleeding and other things like that, ringing in the ears. So they're all these drugs just have a myriad of effects, and then we have to decide if the beneficial effects outweigh the negative ones, and that's how drugs get approved.
And it's very, I think, tell me, you're the doctor, it's very like contextual, right? Like
Yes.
What the circumstances are with that human being.
People ask me, is vitamin D supplementation good? And I'm like, well, what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to prevent rickets? But yeah, it's perfect. It's the best thing for that. Matter of fact, it's the drug of choice for that. Do you want to prevent cancer? Not a lot of good data on that. So it is contextual. Absolutely.
But there are
and each person is different too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, not only is each person different, but there's just a lot of things we'd be surprised about, but it will make sense in this situation, but not in this situation. Right.
Right. And if every medicine affected me the same as it does you and everybody else. We'd only need one blood pressure medicine, one cholesterol medicine, one pain medicine. The fact is that we're very different. There's this range, this sort of bell curve of responses to things. And that's a good thing, because what that also means is one virus isn't going to come through and just blow us all out of the water.
Blood
Not
types.
easily. Yeah. Yeah, blood
Blood
types.
types.
Very interesting, aren't they? This person says,
Why do
Dr. Steve, what are the
so
reasons
few
for...
Americans? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just reading your super chat. What is the
I don't
reason
know
for,
if that's trolling or
for
not.
Kevin's pink face? Does Kevin have a pink face? I can talk about what causes pink faces.
I mean, I think it's part of his Irish thing, and then part of him screaming all the time, doesn't it? Like when you yell all the time,
Okay,
doesn't
I
it
don't
like
know.
bring blood vessels?
Or we're talking about specific Kevin. I don't know. It's pink faces can be caused by skin infections. There's a thing called rosacea that
Yes.
causes redness. Lupus can cause pink face, but usually in sort of a mask. It's called malar rash. But you're right, genetics can do it too. If you've got really northern European skin, you can end up with pink face when you drink, because
When
you
you're
get
mad.
dilation of the blood vessels, and it just shows through the skin. So I don't know the answer to that, but
What about
those are
blood
all the
types?
reasons.
Why do so few Americans know their blood type when it's so important? Like they're literally blood types that aren't supposed to like create together. Isn't that true?
Well, sort of. My wife is Rh negative.
Oh
and
wow, that's very
I'm
rare.
Rh positive. So when
Interesting. I
our
have to talk to you offline about this.
well, she would have, if once you have the first kid, now the blood mixes, and then every kid after that, her body would have killed. That's why Anne Boleyn lost her head. Anne Boleyn was Rh negative, and Henry VIII was Rh positive. They have Elizabeth, right? Queen Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
And then every kid after that, she miscarried with what they called hydrops. And the kids were all, the babies were born dead and they were bloated because her body was, her antibodies in her blood were killing the babies. And if she had been Rh positive, she might have given him a male heir and the history would have been completely different.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Well, I heard that in what's the more free Korea, South Korea, I believe, they've been using blood types on their CVs, resumes for over 25 years.
Is that right?
Correct, because it says that much about your personality.
Oh, I see.
I'm
Okay.
A positive.
Yeah, Korean
but
blood type personality. I see what you're talking about. I've never
most
heard that. Yeah.
people don't know their blood types, and what freaks me out, I mean, there was that whole book, like Eat Right for Your Blood Type. My sister and I got into it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the food I love was like on the not eat list for my blood type, which didn't make sense on an instinct level.
Right.
But also the basis of that whole book didn't make ton of sense to me. It was like where you're from and da da da. But the fact that what you just said, for example, like Rh negative and Rh positive, the fact that people will get married and not know their blood types, but that I don't know, Rh negative and positive,
they always test you. They always test you when you deliver, though. And if the mother is when you deliver, if the mother is Rh negative, they give them Rogam, which blocks the antibody, which allows the next kid to live. That's what they did.
If I'm not mistaken, Rh negative and positive are very rare.
Well, no, everybody's either Rh negative or Rh positive. There's more Rh positive people than there are Rh negative people.
Everyone's Rh negative or positive?
One or the other, yes. So you're O positive or O negative, A positive.
So me being A positive is Rh positive.
A positive is Rh. Those people are Rh positive. That's correct. So when they first were doing blood types, they just thought there was AB and O, and then they found AB.
New blood types came out after Auschwitz, like after the Holocaust.
Well, they started.
B- didn't exist or something. Or B+.
Well, they learned about the Rh factor later because they realized, wait a minute, these people have O blood. They should be able to mix, but then they would, try to mix them and they still had the transfusion reaction and they realized there was something else going on. That's when they discovered the Rh factor. I don't know my history perfectly on that. So,
well, no, I want us to get into it at some point, but is it true or not true that some blood types have like if you mate with like I don't know what they are. Like I'm just gonna say it.
Sure, just make
B
up something.
minus, A minus, or
Right.
B minus, A plus, or R whatever, that you have a higher risk of your child having Down syndrome or some kind of birth defect. And then people don't know that. And
Right.
so but it feels like only the US. Like I feel like most of the world are like I spent a lot of time in Europe and in South America. Everyone knows their blood types. Almost everyone in the US, I'll be like, "What's your blood type? Do you know?" There's a guy I was dating. I went on 2 dates with him.
I'm not
But
finding any data that says that there's any correlation with blood types and Down syndrome. So
no, not necessarily specifically Down syndrome.
Oh,
Just
okay.
birth defects or that it
Well,
wouldn't be the healthiest birth.
yes, if the father is positive and the mother is negative, then her body is going to make antibodies that will then kill the Rh positive kid after that blood is admixed inside her body. So the baby has Rh positive blood, she has Rh negative, and then at birth the blood circulation gets mixed, and that's when the antibodies start to form. And if you don't get that ROGAM in that patient, that blocking antibody, they just give them an injection, then yes, the next they won't be able to deliver any children after that. They'll all die.
Don't you
for the most
think
part.
that people should know this? Like you said, you and your wife had this situation. Don't you think
When
that
we found out? We found
What?
out
At
when
birth?
she was delivered. Yeah, when she delivered, they did her blood type for that reason and said, "You're Rh negative. We need to give you this this ROGAM." So
Don't you think that's interesting, sir?
Yeah, it is fascinating.
No, I mean, don't you think it's fascinating? Yes, but don't you think like, wouldn't you and your wife have wanted to know before the delivery room?
Not necessarily. As long as she got the ROGAM and our other kids are
What
going
if
to be
the
okay.
What if nobody thought about the ROGAM?
No, it's part of the okay. I hear
Oh,
what you're
okay. It's
saying.
part of the thing.
It is part of the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
They do not forget that because it's part of the protocol.
Okay.
If they did, it would be cause for legal action. You'd have to get our friend Vince involved in a situation like that. If they just never did it and they had a Rh incompatibility and nobody bothered to check and didn't give the mother the ROGAM, that would be medical legal jeopardy for them.
What are 3 things, if you could name 3 or
Jesus,
more?
Here we go, 3 things.
Oh, sorry. No, I don't want to keep you because I've already overkept you. If you could say 3 things to people like to stay healthy or not, you
Sure.
don't have to say them.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe.
Well, I can do that. Wear your fucking seatbelts. Don't smoke. And, don't drink to excess. I mean, listen, the thing I tell people is everything in moderation, including everything in moderation. Every once in a while, you got to blow it out your ass, but don't be blowing it out your ass all the time. And then we are what we eat. There is, I sent a note to Bonnie McFarlane not too long ago, just saying, hey, I want to tell you that, you were 100% right about this. They did a study not too long ago that demonstrated that people who, adhere to a vegan diet live longer than people even that are just vegetarians. People who are vegetarians have less chronic illness than people who are eating an omnivore diet. So it is, veganism is hard to do for a lot of people.
That's a question people had for you. Is it healthier to have be a vegetarian or is it healthier to
The data shows that yes, but you can live a long time and still eat meat. Here's the problem. I can't do a blood test and say Ashley Cummings can eat red meat all the days of her life and she'll live to be 90. So it's all about risk management because we don't have that ability.
And moderation, right?
There are some people, right. And, if you're going to do anything, do it in moderation. But there are people who smoke 2 packs of cigarettes every day and live to be 90. I don't have a blood test that says you can do that. So I have to tell everybody.
Where do they live? Do they live in a big city?
Well, I don't know, anywhere. I mean, they
back
could
to
be
our
anywhere.
conversation earlier. I
Right.
want to find out the correlation of the people living to be 120.
Well,
that drink and
stress
smoke.
has something to do with it. And maybe they just don't worry about smoking.
So you're
they just don't have that.
mostly vegetarian is better.
That's what the data shows. It's not me saying that. So this is how we know things. You take 1,000 people who are eating an omnivore diet and 1,000 people that are eating a vegan diet, and then you match them for, male and female and smokers versus non-smokers to the best of your ability. And then you watch them over time. Does one group have a statistically significant decrease or increase in certain illnesses? And sometimes you just go on a fishing expedition. You just look at everything and then you go, oh, wow, this group over here, had fewer heart attacks and it was statistically significant. And then you can say something, until then you're just guessing. But there is some data out there and I can send it to you.
Time, right?
Right. That's the problem, isn't it? It's like, for the longest time, we were giving kids this Gardasil vaccine for HPV, right? It protects against certain strains of human papillomavirus that are known to cause cancer. Not all of them. They can still get genital warts, but they won't get the ones that cause cancer. And for the longest time, people were saying, well, you're giving this to 12-year-old girls. You're encouraging them to have sex. It's like, no, we're trying to catch them before they start having sex. So they haven't been exposed to this already. So we're catching it, so they're protected against it. And it took a long time for us to be able to demonstrate that all of a sudden abnormal pap smears are decreasing at a statistically significant rate. And we're
because of that vaccine?
Yes, and we're starting to see that cervical cancer itself is decreasing. If you've ever seen anybody with terminal cervical cancer, you'll do anything you can, including giving a 12-year-old a vaccine to prevent that, because it's awful. So, we're seeing the results, but it took all these years to get there. That's the problem, is we don't always have as much time as we'd like to study things. So that's a problem in this.
We are where we are, right?
Yep. But anyway,
I loved having you on. Will you come on again, please?
Absolutely. And I'll spew more wrong things. I'm probably saying many wrong things today.
You're so silly. I'm so honored to have you. I think you're such an amazing person. Everyone said, Ashley, Dr. Steve is the best. And I'm like, I hadn't experienced you, but everyone was right.
Oh, good. I'm going to chemo Bobby. We can't say red meat anymore. It's commander's meat now. Yeah, and it was
That's
Eric the
my friend
actor
Ryan,
and Gary the Conqueror, so I get it. Can't say certain things.
No, he's just being silly. He's being facetious.
No, he's right. He's right.
So what does it mean, commander's meat? I don't get it.
It's a euphemism for red meat.
Oh.
You can't say red meat anymore.
Well, I'm a vegetarian vegan for a long time.
You can't say Gary the R word. You have to say Gary the Conqueror. That was a Howard Stern thing. You must not have been a Howard Stern fan.
I was. That's a different story for a different time.
Okay, fair enough. Leave us something to talk about next time.
I think we have plenty to talk about, like, all the time.
Are you going to DabbleCon?
You mean Hackamania?
I mean, I'm sorry, Hackamania.
Are you?
I am. It's going to
now I might go.
Oh, stop!
I'm not joking.
It may be my swan song for all this stuff, because it's kind of getting a little dark. But I have so many friends that are there, and everyone is so cool at that thing. I was so surprised.
You've obviously been there before.
I have. I've been to the other two, and the first one I went to, I did it with some trepidation, because all I'd ever seen of Patrick Melton was him on his show talking about, Aaron Imholt and his wife and how she's scrimping and all this stuff, and I was like, this guy, I don't know, but he was absolutely. People don't understand this. That in person, the nicest guy in the world. And
I have a feeling he did come after me for a bit, but I have a feeling if I met him in person, he probably would be very nice.
I think so. He's doing a show. He has to do 4 hours a day or whatever it is that he does. And he just blew me away, and I really enjoyed meeting him. And it was great meeting all the sort of West Coast people that you don't get to meet at, like, DabbleCon. And but a lot of the East Coast people come there too, and it's just kind of a big love fest. It's kind of like Woodstock for hack comedy. And
that's cool. The thing for me, sorry, go ahead.
No, and Pat Dixon's coming this year. He is polarizing with certain people in the community, but what I remember of him is I was simulating a prostate exam, simulating a
Wait,
prostate
what does that
exam.
mean? What does that even look like?
I'll show you pictures on Rocco. And I pulled,
Rocco, I'm teaching him yoga soon. Wait, so you
yeah. Well, I
simulated
pulled Tukey out of his ass, and then Tukey was like, "Whoa!" And it was funny. But Pat Dixon was playing the piano behind us, and there were people saying it was the most surreal thing that they've ever seen because we were behind the screen with the light, and all you could see was a shadow of me shoving my fingers in Rocco's ass, supposedly. It was ridiculous. You don't know this, but
but it's very funny. I love it.
I was known for the longest time. My sort of claim to fame, if anything, was doing prostate exams on the Opie and Anthony show. That's how I got started. So
and then later with Tukey and Rocco.
Correct. It's unfortunately.
I mean,
I
at
said,
some
well, we
point,
could just do the prostate exam thing with
Rocco
you.
had to get Tukey in the right place, and maybe he wasn't, right?
It was just I was pulling stuff out of his ass, and then the very last thing I did was pull Tukey out. But I slipped my hand in there, so because I was behind the thing, so it looked like he was, and it was like, well, Rocco is over there, but Tukey, and he's whoa, and he was doing the voice. It was just silly.
Really, really funny. I love this.
It was just crazy, and people came up to me afterwards. So that was the most surreal thing I've ever seen. Not the funniest thing or anything like that. I'm never going for funny. I'm not a funny person, but I'll take surreal any day because that's.
Are we going to do another? Okay. So, I live in LA. It's only a 4-hour drive. So it's like literally I could decide the day before for me to go to Vegas. But can we do another prostate exam on Rocco?
You? I'm sorry. That probably won't work.
He might need it. It's been 2 years. They say you should have one every 2 years.
Yeah,
right?
he needs one. Yeah, he needs another one.
It's about time.
It's been done. If I do it again now, it really will become hack.
Maybe I'll teach like a yoga class there that everyone can come to if they want.
Yeah, you probably get.
You're like, yeah, I won't be there, but.
Well, no. What'll happen is Tukey will show up. We did bingo, and there was this. In this big bingo hall, right? And the lady was like a school marm, and she was shushing us the whole time. And we were all laughing and cutting up. And she's like, shh, people are marking their ballot. And it's like, it's all on a computer screen. You just sit there and do nothing. And it'll mark the ballots for you or whatever you call the things. Sure. And every time she would go B32, you would hear Tukey go, yay. All the dabblers just were laughing, and it was. I mean, yeah.
One of the biggest bummers.
It was funny at the time.
One of the biggest bummers that happened from the sickness was I was supposed to teach Rocco yoga 2 Sundays ago, and Dr. Steve, I literally couldn't. Like I couldn't talk without coughing.
Yes, right.
And I had to cancel it, and I hated it.
You've done great tonight.
Thank you. We're rescheduling hopefully for this Sunday.
I'm a big
thank
yoga
you. Yeah,
fan,
no, I'm like, it's been almost a week and a half, but like I can breathe.
Yeah. Well, I had my one
Sorry,
out of body experience that I've ever had in my life doing yoga. So I'm a big fan.
Did you say you had a naughty experience doing yoga?
No, out of body experience.
Oh, was it in Shavasana or like during the yoga part?
No, is that what you call the big relax at the end?
Shavasana is like when you chill out and relax.
Yeah. It was during that. And the weird thing is, it was a guy named Steve Ross. Do you ever?
I know Steve Ross.
You know him?
Yes.
I mean, you know him.
I know him.
You know him biblically too.
No.
Oh, okay, but Steve Ross, I love him.
I've taken his class.
Is that right?
Yes, he used to teach in LA a lot.
Yeah, well, he used to have a show on or the Oprah Network or something. Oxygen. It was Oxygen, and he would play kind of soul music and pop music and stuff. And he was really funny, but he was really fucking good. And I taped him. You can see him on YouTube. He's on YouTube now, but I videotaped a bunch of it. And
he's Yogi Steve.
Yeah, and during. What do you call it? Shavasana? Is that what it's called?
Shavasana. So it's spelled Savasana, but it's Shavasana.
Shavasana. Sure, like Shri is SRI. I was a follower of Sri Caitanya back in the day. I was this close to being a Krishna consciousness person, but he.
Interesting.
So I'm laying there, and he was having us imagine a tower where the bricks are falling in, circumferentially. So all the bricks were falling in, but it was constantly falling in and constantly falling in. And the next thing I knew, I was floating above my body, looking down, and it was the most freaky thing. And it was so realistic, and I'm sure I was dreaming or what. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I still experienced it, and it was a TV yoga class.
Like you're watching Steve on YouTube.
Yeah, no, but well, I had a videotape of him.
That's
VHS.
awesome.
Yeah.
Was it like, I don't know if you've explored meditation or not,
Sure.
but did it feel like sort of a meditative experience?
Yes, very much so. I am a medical advisor for a company called Trip. Do you know Nanea Reeves by any chance?
Anaya Reeve? No,
You
it
need to
doesn't
know
sound-
her. Okay, well, she lives out there.
Connect me with her. Yeah, I do
I
need to
will.
know her.
Yeah, you should. You know
If
what?
she knows you and you like her, I would like to know
Oh,
her.
I love her. And she has this company called Trip. And what they came up with was an app for the Oculus Quest, now the Meta Quest, the 3D helmets. And it's a 3D surround psychedelic meditative, guided meditation. And they do 3 breathing exercises, and you rise to these different levels, and then you sort of attain enlightenment at the end. And we're actually doing a study at my cancer center for people with chemotherapy related anxiety. Instead of giving them Ativan, we're putting the helmet on them, and their anxiety levels with no drugs whatsoever are going from like an 8 down to a 2. So
That's
it's
incredible.
incredible.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you've heard of Dr. Vanderkolk, who wrote the book The Body Keeps the Score
I
about
don't know.
trauma.
Oh, no.
Vanderkolk. It's sounds like cock,
Mhm.
but he's from Norway. I think it's COLK. COLK. The Body
Okay.
Keeps the Score. The Body Keeps the Score. He has the trauma center in
Okay.
Boston.
Yeah.
But he found that yoga was the most effective prescription or medication, if
believe
you
it.
will, for every trauma symptom that he's seen.
You try this Trip app, and you'll
The
find.
most important thing, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. He
No,
funded the study himself. He funded the study
Well,
himself.
I'm funding this study myself
Hmm?
because I believe. I'm funding this study myself because I believe.
Oh,
in.
exactly, because obviously they're skewed, right?
Well, I could apply for a grant, and then they would have some control over what we're doing. Now we're doing very scientifically rigorous study. 40 people will get nothing. They just do
Placebo.
a question. Well, it's weird. It's hard to do a placebo when everybody knows if they're doing the active thing, right? Like I
Oh.
was in a placebo-controlled amphetamine trial, and you knew when you got the placebo, and you knew when you got the amphetamine. But but we do have a control, and the control is they get nothing. They get a survey before, and then 10 minutes later, and that's it. And then one group, 40 people, get a survey. Then they are at the beach, for 10 minutes. And then they get a survey. And then the third group is 50 or 40 people, and they get a survey, and then they do the Trip app, and then they do their survey. So what we're hoping to see, but I don't have any true bias toward this, but I would like to be able to demonstrate that the Trip app has a statistically significant benefit over just sitting at the beach. But we'll take whatever we can get. And because we're looking for non-pharmacologic ways to treat anxiety, and because, the benzodiazepines and other drugs like that have adverse effects, and this thing doesn't. So,
Well, I would like to offer myself to you as a breathing teacher, as a yoga teacher,
Yes.
and anything you want on this Trip app, because it sounds amazing.
Yeah,
And I
it's
know
really
that
cool.
breathing is just deep breathing. People are like, why are you talking about breathing so
No,
much?
yes, breathing is huge.
Can we talk? Yeah, the vagus nerve, how the vagus
Yes.
nerve sends information, and how, like, when you breathe deep and touch your belly, it sends a message to your brain that you're
Mhm.
okay.
I teach people square breathing in my in my clinic.
Square breathing, box breathing,
Yep.
same thing, right?
Yep. And if people don't know, we might as well teach it to them. If you
Yes.
have a panic attack, you can, when you're hyperventilating, and when you hyperventilate, you drive carbon dioxide in your bloodstream down, and you'll get tingling in your fingers and your mouth. Your heart will beat faster, which makes the anxiety worse, which makes the hyperventilation worse. It just gets worse and worse and worse. Now, one thing you could do is you can breathe into a paper bag, because you're rebreathing carbon dioxide and it will raise the carbon dioxide level. But if you're doing that on the subway, you just put a target on your back, right? And you look stupid. So you can do this thing that Ashley and I are talking about, which is square breathing, where you breathe for 4 beats, and we'll do it. Then you hold for 4, then you breathe out for 4, and then you hold for 4. When you do that, you can only be inhaling or exhaling 25% of the time. And if that's the case, you cannot hyperventilate. So let's do it now. We'll do it for fun.
Ready?
Why not? Okay, you
Let's
ready?
go. Do you
Okay.
want to lead or
Inhale.
should I?
Yeah.
You lead it.
Okay. Okay, we're going to inhale 4 beats. Hold for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Hold. And repeat. And if you'll practice that before you need it, if you have a panic attack, that will almost break any panic attack if it's psychogenically, if it's caused by a psychogenic reason. Not some physiologic thing like a funny, arrhythmia or something like
Can
that.
I teach you just so everyone
Yes.
knows? Because that was only 1 second, and you did it really nice with the snaps. So you'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4 through the nostrils. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Inhale 1, 2.
We got to hold for 4.
I meant to.
You
Yes.
lost count. It's okay.
Let's do it
I'm just
together. You
fucking with
ready?
you. Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, well, this
start
is
together.
compelling video. Okay, ready?
So we're going to inhale from the nose
Right.
to the belly. Try to send the air low.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hold. Out. Hold. You know the cool thing with the Trip app?
Inhale.
Okay. Aye, Captain.
Hold. Exhale. Hold at the bottom of the exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe free. Just remember, everyone's going to have a different rhythm to their
Correct.
breath and their lungs. So you do it
But
for
it's
yourself.
square because you do the same length. You can.
That's why
It doesn't
it's
matter
closer. So
how
you
long the beats
inhale
are.
4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold at the bottom,
And
inhale 4, and continue.
when
And
you do the
ideally, you
Trip,
want to do what? 10, 15?
yeah, you do it until your symptoms go away, because you can do it indefinitely if you want to. It doesn't matter.
You could just
Now,
keep doing this all night.
one thing you're going to love about the Trip app is when you breathe in, you're going to breathe in blue sparks, and when you breathe out rust-colored sparks.
I love that.
That's really cool because it hears you breathing, and it knows when you're breathing, and so these sparks come from infinity and come in and then go through your nose, then come out your mouth. It's really neat. You got to try it. Do you know anybody that has a MetaQuest, the 3D helmet?
No, I don't, but I want you to send me the Trip app. Do you have to have the MetaQuest helmet to
No, you
work
can
the
do it on
Trip
your
app?
phone, but it's way better with the Trip app.
What is the MetaQuest? Like, how would one get a MetaQuest?
You just go
Amazon?
buy one. Yeah, you go buy one. Yeah.
So it's a MetaQuest. What is it called?
Is it just a MetaQuest? The MetaQuest, they have the MetaQuest 3S now, is the inexpensive one. You can get it at Best Buy or anything. Don't go buy one just for this unless you really feel like you want to commit to it. There's fun games on it too. But if you know someone that has one, download the Trip app on it and try it. It's incredible. You'll crap yourself. It's the coolest thing ever.
Crap myself. I hope not. But you can use the Trip app without the MetaQuest headgear.
You can do it on your phone, and they're pushing that now, for people that don't have the 3D, and it's still a guided meditation. It's just not a 3D environment where you're floating in outer space.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I feel like I might just lock in Hackmania just because of you.
Oh,
Can
well,
we like do something together though? Like while we're there, like maybe
sure.
box breathing even for a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you like. I'm just there to hang. So there's you'll have so
You're
much
staying at
fun.
the
You'll meet so many
Palace where
people. I think
everyone
you'd
else
be a
is
big
staying.
hit.
Sorry
What's
about
that?
that.
I said I think you'll be a big hit.
I
What
doubt it, but
what would
I'm not going there for that. There's like 5 people I want to
me
meet.
neither.
Are you
Yeah.
going to be staying at the Palace where
The
everyone's staying?
plaza, yes.
Oh, sorry, the Plaza.
Yes. Yeah. And
Is your wife
pla-
going to come with you?
no. I'm
She
planning
doesn't
on
want to go.
no, this isn't her thing. Yeah, this isn't her thing. But we have our things together, and then she has her things by herself, and I have my things by myself.
I am so honored and lucky and happy that you came here. Please subscribe to Weird Science, right?
Or weird medicine, either one.
Sorry. I was thinking, do you remember that movie from the
Yes,
90s
of
when they
course.
made a woman?
You're not the only person that's ever said that, so it's fine.
Weird medicine, weird medicine, weird medicine. And then hopefully you'll come at least one more time before Hackmania
Sure.
to just wrap out, and I'll have a
Yeah.
more structured situation for us.
No,
But I loved tonight. I loved how organic it was.
Yeah, me too.
And you're just like a vault, you're amazing.
I just run my mouth.
You're amazing.
You
You're
are.
better than everyone said.
Whatever. Thank you for having me, though.
Thank you for being here.
Enjoyed it. Okay, we'll do it again.
Okay, see you soon. Bye,
Okay.
Dr. Steve.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. How do I get out of here?
You just press end stream. I was thinking the same thing. Okay, that was amazing. My buttons working would be also amazing. Big ups to Dr. Steve. I love him. And I love you guys, but I'm going to try to say goodbye.